where today young, new, energetic, peaceful, unarmed and resilient protesters converted online rage to boots on the ground in day-long demonstrations against the Finance Bill 2024. In what is being described as the Generation Z-fronted protest, peaceful demonstrators attempted to march to the Houses of Parliament but were stopped by police who fired tear gas canisters. The protests, dubbed #Occupy Parliament, have seen hundreds of visibly good-spirited, even humorous young protesters arrested and ferried to various police stations around Nairobi. Brenda Wanga kicks off our extensive coverage of day's events with an account of an unusual revolt on the streets of Nairobi.
It had all the hallmarks of what Kenyans have come to expect of street protests. Generous amounts of tear gas, a multitude of police officers, both uniformed and covert, and yes, the key player, the protester. And this is where the similarities between this protest and previous ones ended. Today's protester was markedly different, bold, unbowed, loud, and that much younger than the usual protesting crowd. Long known for their activism online, the group organized this protest digitally and then backed up their intention by showing up physically in the streets of the capital city to oppose and reject the Finance Bill 2024.
Bila uliza polisi, kwani ununui mkate? Bibi yako anunui sanitary towels? Mtoto wako atumii zile diapers? So you police officers, I'm fighting for your rights. Nikisema occupy parliament, I'm fighting because of you.
This is our country. We will fight and die like our ancestors did. You are not going to scare any of us. We are ready to die.
The youthful protesters defied the police directive outlawing the protest. Instead, they showed up in their numbers, dressed in the day's colors and armed with phones, ready to voice their dissent and document the revolt. Nothing, not even the threat of arrest and then the actual arrests, could deter them from achieving their goal.
Down Finance Bill! Down Finance Bill! Reject Finance Bill!
Not even the arrest of some of the leading faces of the protest could stop them or slow them down. Activist Hanifa Aden was amongst the first protesters to be arrested, and if the police thought that would discourage the Occupy Parliament movement, they were soon proved wrong, with more people joining in. Activist Boniface Mwangi was also amongst those arrested later in the day, an act that also saw protest materials confiscated from him and his team. Other arrests were equally met with defiance and resistance. Their voices raised even in the back of police trucks en route to the cells, and even when they were locked up, they did not stop their protest. By the time the day was coming to a close, the protesters had engaged the police for hours, partially shut down business operations within the CBD, and in return, the police had rounded up over 400 protesters in the first of its kind protest. The Occupy Parliament protest had been organized by Kenyans who have been mobilizing on various social media platforms under the hashtag Reject the Finance Bill, to rally up the numbers and pressure MPs to shoot down contentious provisions and the bill. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.